Well, this video is powered by St. Maria Great SS Katende, and registration is on and admissions are open. So you can register via that number. You can also go ahead and obviously email them onto that particular email and also look at that website in there for you, and you'll thank me later. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun in there for you, and keep it the Rokani Media Football and continue to subscribe. Big story today that we are obviously going ahead to obviously tackle. It's all about Xavi Simons transfer, our latest transfer hint that is really very shocking. When a player comes in through for his debut season and rumors start to come out that he might be leaving the club where he is, it's really very shocking, and there has to be a vast range of reasons as to why it's saying so. Smash the like button close to 100 times, and let's put out the performances in there for you of really subscribing. Now, Xavi Simons comes in through to obviously spearhead this story and really give us a very huge talk about point in here. And it's who? It's Nico Shira. He has come up and told us the following: that Netherlands international midfielder Xavi Simons could leave Tottenham Hotspur in the summer. If Spurs are relegated, he will be one of the first names to leave the club. It will be a last in, first out situation in there for you. So, as it stands, the player is not experiencing what we call a season he was supposed to obviously be having in his mind. And I know Spurs are really looking bad, and they've hinted onto Spurs getting relegated. And let's obviously go out and see on the Premier League table, where is Tottenham Hotspur? Because that's really very important. Spurs are 16th and they are having 29 points. And as it stands, they can easily get relegated if they don't get back to winning ways, because in the 17th, it's Nottingham with 28 points. 18th, it's West Ham with 28 points. 19th, it's Burnley with 19 points. And 20th is Wolverhampton Wanderers with 16 points. And if you're going to hate to see the form of West Ham and the Wolves, I tell you what, it is really very threatening with the side of Tottenham Hotspur, because for Tottenham Hotspur, they are really looking bad. They are shrinking, and they are soon hitting the rock bottom of this table, But these two are really trying to raise and really put out form to fight for their position in the league. Now, Xavi Simons is one of those players that I've always gone ahead to enjoy. I really enjoy how he plays. I enjoy everything this lad does. And he is really very important for him to obviously decide his future if at all Spurs really gets relegated. And one of the big problems he's really facing is that the manager that brought him in here was sacked, and that is Thomas Frank. When Thomas Frank got sacked, the players came out and started putting out messages that they are not really enjoying the style of the manager, and they put out a very huge statement, through different media outlets. But I tell you what, to me, I think it was a lie. Now, if you told us that the other guy was really not doing fine, not even a manager bounce showed up in the first 3 games. The guy has been beaten, I think, ever since he came in through at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You get? Arsenal went ahead to beat him. Was it is it 3 or 4-1? I think it was 4-1 for the club of Arsenal in there. So he has been losing games, you get? And even rumors of him being sacked have obviously started to swell around the stadium of Tottenham Hotspur. So it shows you how bad this situation is. And the players haven't obviously gone ahead to lift them to really maybe show a protest to the long-lived stay or to the short-lived stay of Thomas Frank. And they would have gone ahead to obviously say the protest should be us coming up and obviously putting out performances. But these players are not putting out such performances. And what does that mean? It means that something is not going on well, because the new manager has also, though he's interim, has also not gone ahead obviously get the best out of these players. I really understand that there are those that will come out and say the problem is they do have injuries. I tell you, they are not the only side that is really suffering from injuries, but teams, however much they're suffering from injuries, they're trying to do a lot to obviously do the needful. And that's starting 11 of Spurs alone, without those players that are really injured. Pedro Porro, James Maddison, Kulusevski. They have. I think they're not having like 6-7 players right now. Even if they're away, that squad, because they're starting 11, is having the following players. Like they played yesterday and they went ahead to be demolished in the UEFA Champions League. When you look at Spurs, they had, obviously, Vicario in goal. Very good player. You get? Vicario is a very, very, very good player. And Kinski was in goal, meaning that Vicario is injured. Romero, Danso, and Van der Ven, back three. Do you doubt any of those? Not really. Pedro Porro was back, played as a right-wing back, and went ahead obviously score a goal. Dejan Spence, good player. Pametasa and Gray in there. So Kolomwani, Matthias Tell, and Richarlison went ahead with the line. His bench had Vicario, and the manager is benching Vicario. I don't know why. Yao Paulinha on bench. Xavi Simons on bench. Dominic Solanke on bench. Conor Gallagher on the bench. Radu Dragsin on bench. Brandon Austin on bench. Callum Osei and James Roswell. So you look at those players, that team is good enough to obviously be even competing for the top 6 positions to get back in Europe. Maybe not in the Champions League, but in the UEFA Europa League. But look at where they are. Something is not right. You get? Something is not right. And when something is not right, I tell you, it will obviously come up and obviously show up onto the pitch, because the situation in the dressing room is showcased onto the pitch. And these Spurs players would have gone ahead to say, all right, the more we keep in the Champions League, the more we obviously get in some huge amount of money. But they went ahead to obviously surrender to Atletico Madrid, and they got beaten. You get? And Xavi Simons came on, but he couldn't save the situation, because Marcos Llorente in the 6th minute, Antonio Griezmann in the 14th minute, Julian Alvarez in the 15th minute and 55th minute, then Robin Nomad in the 22nd minute had already gone ahead to do the needful, before Pedro Porro in the 26th minute and Dominic Solanke in the 76th minute came up and obviously tried to score 2 consolation goals, but the damage had already gone ahead to be made by the side of Atletico Madrid. So I really understand, but I would like to send a message to the agent of Xavi Simons. The lad is still young, and it's not far off from saving his career. That is it. Better stay at Spurs for one more season and see how things will be next season. Unless otherwise, they are really relegated. I wouldn't advise Xavi Simons to play away from Spurs. That is it. Let him stay for one more season, because a lot of players that would have gone ahead to make him better really injured, and they also need to make a statement on who is obviously going to be becoming their next manager. If Spurs goes ahead to bring in Dizabi, I think Xavi Simons would have gone ahead to obviously pick a land title in his names. I tell you, because that will be a master signing of a manager that is good at obviously transforming players into what they want to be. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name. Don't forget to subscribe. Your thoughts on Xavi Simons' transfer latest hint. He wants to leave the side of he wants to leave the side of Tottenham Hotspur. You understand? And I tell you, there will be a line or a queue of teams trying to sign him because of how good this player has proven to be. So guys, I love you all. Thank you very much for watching it through. We are going to be returning with the match reaction of Arsenal versus Bayern Leverkusen. Game not looking good for the club of Arsenal, but they're trying to defend very well, and Leverkusen is only having one shot on target, and even Arsenal had one on target, and the most beautiful chance came in from Martinelli that went ahead to obviously hit the woodwork to deny him a goal. Bye-bye.